Daigaho! Hey everyone, you're listening to the Infatuasian podcast. Welcome to another episode where we might speak a little Cantonese. I like to try. I'm not good, but I like to speak Cantonese. But luckily, I have some people who speak Cantonese a little better than me, or a lot better than me. So we're going to talk to some folks from the Outcasts from the 853. I know you've heard some of their reels or YouTube channel or podcast, so that's going to be super exciting. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host for the day. You might remember her from our Save Cantonese episode. She's one of the main organizers behind the effort to save Cantonese at City College of San Francisco. She's also finishing up grad school. We're getting pretty close, right, Jules? We're getting
Pretty close, getting there.
All right, she's a labor and delivery room nursing student. It's Julia Kwan. Hey, Julia, welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back. Wow, I love that intro. I sound so accomplished.
I like to hype people up, yeah. Have you delivered any babies today? What's the count today?
Okay, today, no. But I
Okay.
did help deliver two babies on Sunday night, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So doing pretty
Nice.
good.
Nice. Now, I've been through a few of those, well, two of those
Well,
delivery moments, and it's pretty intense. And if it wasn't for the nurses, I think we would have really crapped our pants. Literally, it's so intense and it's so crazy. And the nurses just guide you through it. They tell you exactly what to do. And I just did whatever they told me to do. So I am super thankful for well-trained delivery room nurses.
Yeah.
Is it super intense for you, or is it just a day at the office?
I think my first few, I was a bit more scared. But I think as, experience and time goes on, I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad. Um, so
well,
it's been a great experience, and I graduate May of 2025.
Woohoo!
nice.
Close.
All right, so another year, you're feeling it, getting closer. What's going on with Save Cantonese?
Um, okay, so there's a lot going on. So for folks who don't know, City College was going to indefinitely cut 100% of their Cantonese classes.
Hmm.
And so me and a few other students, we rose up and we created a petition in order to preserve these classes. Now, what right now we still don't have a Cantonese state-funded certificate, even though we've been fighting for this for so long. And we're
Uh,
also having a lot of trouble actually hiring a Cantonese professor. And
mm,
so we're kind of, it's an uphill battle with Cantonese, right? It's academic legitimacy. It's making sure that Cantonese is recognized as a language worth saving. So it's an uphill battle, but we're still going, and we're still very involved in the community.
yeah, yeah. Hey, and we actually met in person one time.
Yes, we did.
That was cool. I was like, "Is that Julia?" Like, you're down in Chinatown. How many days a week are you down in Chinatown?
Let's see. So I do a lot of volunteering and community activism and advocacy for monolingual folks and families out there. So it could range from 5 days a week to 2 days a week.
Okay, okay, yeah. But I think I bumped into you when Mayor Michelle Wu came to town, so that was cool. So
Wow.
everyone out there, if you're walking around Chinatown and you think you see Julia, it probably is Julia.
Come say hi.
Come say hi.
So
All right,
cool.
so we're gonna get into our episode in a second. So thanks for joining us, Julia.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay, so without further ado, let's say hi to our special guest today. We are joined by the Outcasts from the 853, Paji and Yasmin. Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hello, guys. Hello.
Hi.
Oh man, Julia and I are a little starstruck. Gotta admit, a little starstruck talking to celebs.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
Huge
no.
celeb in the Kanto community.
Oh man, where are you guys calling in from today?
I am calling in from New York, and
I
Okay,
am in Delray Beach, Florida.
okay, Delray Beach. What's the biggest city? Is that a small town? Is it a big city? Do I just don't know?
It's right beside Boca, like right next to
Oh,
Boca
okay.
Raton. Yeah, Boca Raton
Okay.
is the rich people place.
Is
Yeah.
it kind of a spring breaky kind of place?
It's okay. It's like, it's almost like the second Boca now, honestly. Like, kind of. It's, I guess, just a lot of beaches, nice beaches.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah, I can imagine.
really nice.
And then, Yasmin, you're in Manhattan, or what part of New York are you in?
No, actually, I'm not in the city. I am like near north of Jersey, so the other side of Hudson River.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. It's kind of interesting. Like, you guys moved from Macau, and so Paji went kind of more the tropical place, and you
Yeah.
went more the city place.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you kind of fit that vibe too. People always think she's Latina.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%.
Speak to me in Spanish. I'm like, no habla, no habla.
Oh,
Sorry,
man,
Filipina.
that's probably super confusing.
It's for sure, yeah.
Because I guess it's not common people see like curly hair like Asian here. Maybe it's more like more
Yeah.
Eastern Asian maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And then I know it's kind of evening over there, but we like to greet our guests in the Asian way. So let's start with Yasmin. Sik fa mea?
Amazing. Amazing.
Nay! Oh no!
Oh no.
All right, we'll speed this up.
No.
Let's go with Paji.
All 未食啊
Also,
Yeah.
no.
我都未食㗎，
痛唔痛啊？
係啊，係啊，超肚餓，餓死
Oh,
啦，
no.
餓死啦。
死啦。
Okay, no, I'm fasting, so it's okay.
okay, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do that. All right, well, we'll finish up early so you guys can get some dinner. Let's see. So we like to dig into our guests' roots a little bit, and I know it gets a little complicated with y'all. So let's start with Paji this time. So your dad is Sri Lankan, and your mom is Filipina, and then you were born in Macau, or where were you born?
I was born in Macau. My mom, like a lot of Filipinos, went to Macau for work as a domestic helper, and my dad went to Macau for work as a driver. And then they met through like my mom's boss. You know, she was like, "Oh, you should meet this driver I have in this like apartment complex that she lived in." And then they met, and I came by. So.
What languages do they speak? Do they speak to each other in English?
Yeah, they speak together. Like, yeah, there's a lot of communication, you know.
Miscommunications.
Oh yeah, there's really miscommunications. Yes, there's like there's not a lot of communication even going on. I feel like sometimes, but yeah, they speak with what English they have. You know, it gone better over the years, but for sure, like their English is what connects us all. But
Okay, yeah, that was the common language.
yeah.
All right, and then Yasmin, mom is Brazilian. No, wait.
Pasayan.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
and then
so-
dad is Filipina.
Yes. Mom is Filipina, mom's Brazilian, dad's Filipino. And also born and raised in Macau. And they also speak English. But I guess, yeah, it's like there's miscommunication because, well, from my mom, she had to learn the language. And then just like, it's like we speak broken English at home. because
Yeah.
because
I was
my
gonna say
mom my mom never really learned the language like officially, so grammar and everything is like mixed Portuguese with English grammar, so we grew up speaking broken English.
That's true.
That's so fascinating. But Macau, I didn't tell you this in the email. I actually lived in Macau for a little bit. I lived so early 90s though, so probably before
Wow.
you guys.
It must be
So,
so different then.
Yeah, I have some facts coming up about how different it is from when I was there.
Please
But I taught English
do.
there. I was teaching English in a church on Avenida Horta de Costa. You know where that is?
Oportunidad
Oh
de
my god.
Costa.
係咪高美士
Horta de
啊？
Costa.
Messi?
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Gomes?
No,
Is it?
Doc-
No, like the
I don't know how to
street?
say it in Kent.
Or das Cosita?
Because Gomez?
Go see that. Yeah, go see that guy.
Cosita.
Yeah.
Our high school is in Cosita. Well, it's Cosita
Right.
Copino.
What school was it called?
Go Macy.
Go Macy. It's like a big pink school.
See, if you were older, I could have been your English tutor after school. Or something. But yeah, so I was there. I was there for about 3 summers, and then one time I stayed for an extra long time. I stayed there about 5 months,
Wow.
and really, really loved it. So we'll talk a little Macau. Actually, you guys want to take a little Macau quiz?
Let's do that. Oh my God. What if we
Okay.
failed?
Let's see how you
No,
do.
no.
It's
Actually,
fine.
no, it's so obscure that I don't expect you to know all these. These are pretty obscure.
Challenge
right.
accepted.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. So, what year? If you guys get within 50 years, I'll be impressed. What year was Macau, quote unquote, discovered by the Portuguese?
Oh my God.
15 something.
15 something?
Yeah.
15? I was going to be like 19 something weird. I was like,
No, it's
Okay.
old. Yeah, it's super old.
1590.
1530.
Oh, okay, all right. 1513.
Oh.
Super old.
Oh,
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
And then they leased it from China in 1557. So that makes it the first colony, first Asian colony first European colony in Asia.
yo.
I did not know.
And that's why they're the first
Wow.
fusion food, right?
Yeah,
Like,
first of a lot of things. First of a lot of
old
things.
school.
I know.
This is why Macau should be more known than Hong Kong.
Michelle, yeah. You know, the problem is that Portugal kind of faded. You know, they at one time they were like king of the world, right? They had so much stuff.
True. They were like powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they totally faded, so they're so not really dominant anymore. All right,
That's true.
that's okay.
Yeah.
You did fine. Yeah, close enough on that one. All right, so
So bad,
right.
our history.
don't worry about it. No, these are obscure. I dug
like-
deep.
You know?
No, I dug
Everything
really
I learned in
deep.
school is like,
Okay, do you want to guess how many square kilometers Macau is?
Square kilometers.
It's under 100.
77.
Actually, it's under 50. It's under 50. Yeah, she's under 50.
Under 50.
Holy! I was gonna.
I
say
know it's
something.
70 times smaller than Hong Kong.
Do you know the
Right,
size
right.
of Hong Kong?
Really?
Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
dinky.
roughly 70.
Those small.
Um,
I don't
30.
know.
27.
Yay, 30. Oh, no, you had it first. It's 33. It's 33 square
Wow.
kilometers.
Ooh, Sam.
All right.
Okay.
Some. Yeah, and then to show you how old I am, when I was there, it was only 23 square kilometers.
Okay.
Wow.
The whole
Yeah,
Kotai. Yeah,
Tin Hoi.
Kotai. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that wasn't even there. When I was there, it was 3 separate islands. So,
Yeah.
We used to have dolphins, but then so
Yeah.
like, polluted.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much more land now. And what's really funny is when they discovered it in the 1500s, it was only 3 square kilometers.
What?
I-
3?
It grew
was so
10
dinky.
times.
Yeah. So it was just like a tiny little sliver of land that
my
China let them
God.
stay on at first.
I guess it was just purely a fishing village then. Like
It is,
back then.
Yeah, and they just had enough room to dock a boat and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you hear the drums by any chance? Do you hear drums? Okay, all right. Because the drum corps is going outside the window. I'm in the high school right now, so the drum corps is going. All right, well, don't worry. Okay, last question. This one, another weird one, is how many casinos are there in Macau? We know that Macau is kind of the Monte Carlo of the East.
Yes. Oh my God. Bro,
There's
we
a
gotta.
lot.
There's a lot.
I feel like there's more than.
50? No.
Yeah,
Because it's 50?
51.
51?
Yeah,
Good
you got
guessing.
it. That's so many. Yeah. When I was there, there was one dude, Stanley Ho. He had a monopoly on it. So when I was there, they only had the one casino, and then I think his deal ended in 2001 or 2002, and that's when the triads came in and all the gangsters.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you did pretty good.
Well,
You did pretty well.
That's really interesting though.
Yeah. No.
No, I love the history. I think it's really cool. I had no idea where it was before I actually got there.
Right beside Hong Kong.
Right. Right beside Hong Kong, connected to
Yes.
China.
That's true.
But so you'll have like cobblestone roads, and you'll have like those pastel colored
Right.
buildings,
And then you'll have Chinese temples around as well.
but super Chinesey culture too. Yeah, it's really cool. And the main language there is Cantonese.
Cantonese.
So much like Hong Kong.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Hong Kong.
people are always amazed by like, oh, your because our second official language is Portuguese, and they're like, what? That's such different languages. Chinese and Portuguese is two official language.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, but it's
Yeah.
not Portugal anymore, blah blah blah. But but the signs are still there, and it's all still
Yeah.
Chinese Portuguese. Like because they're not gonna change the signs.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are growing up. Actually, Julia, why don't you do this question?
During your first episode, we love that you created the name Outcasts very kind of organically.
Like it came out of nowhere, right? You're just like, we're outcasts.
That's true.
Yeah, could you talk about what it was
So
like?
long ago.
Oh yeah. Could you talk about what it was like growing up as outcasts? And then, in addition to that, kind of what were the best and worst parts about growing up in Macau?
So growing up as outcasts, yeah, like like we said, we get home and we are talking in broken English. We don't really have a strong sense of identity of, culturally, especially like we aren't the we're not the foreigners that are in international schools. We're like foreigners in the Chinese local schools. So it was very visibly obvious that we're different than the rest. It's like two of us especially. We both just look at each other and like, whoa, like we locked eyes already immediately.
We gotta stick together.
Yeah.
The curly hair, yeah.
It's like our eyes, our hair. Like there are some, Portuguese, Chinese, or some Filipinos too there that in some classes or grade below or higher than us, or some like in our class, but they kind of blend in almost like, like the Asian look. But yeah, so in terms of outcasts, like Yasmin and I are very like outcasts, and we sometimes feel that way also outside of school or work. So, we just learn to embrace that like difference. The fact that we are outcasts means we can blend into different scenarios more better, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like because we weren't Asian or Chinese or Macanese enough, right? Like if you're from Macau, you're called Macanese, right? We're not Macanese enough because we're not, our families are not from Macau, or we just don't really follow the same culture. And then maybe we're not foreigners enough as well, because like we watch like American movies and we understand what they speak, but like we're not like completely different lifestyle. So it's like not here, not there, just
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of stuck together. So you guys were in school together for just the whole time, pretty much?
Yes.
for the most part, up until middle school, actually.
Yeah,
The last year of middle school, and then we were together from elementary to middle school, and then I transferred to another school, and then from there we just did our own thing, different schools.
But then you, who moved to the States first? Do you guys even know who moved
I
first?
think I did, right? Yeah, I did.
You you went to school in.
Oh yeah, that's true. So because I transferred, right? She studied 4 years of university in Macau, and then I transferred 2 years to the US, and then that was like end of 2018, and then a couple months after she moved. But I didn't know that. Like we didn't know that, and because we kind of like we lived our separate lives, and we haven't really contacted that much at that point. And then I just saw on her story like, oh, New Jersey. What are you doing
that's
here?
funny.
Yep.
So yeah.
The best and worst part about living in Macau, should we say that? I would say best part would be it's safe. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so safe, and the food, just
Yeah.
everything.
I love the food.
That's true. In terms of like safety, like when we grew up, I'm not really sure why, but for some reason it's just very safe. There was no like other, like there was not a lot of crimes at the time, and you can go home 2, 3 a.m. by yourself as a girl and you're totally fine. Now maybe it's a different story. But yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Also the
And-
food. I feel like I didn't realize how much I love the food until I left Macau.
But the worst part for Macau is it's small and it's hard. Like it's,
yeah.
you get bored easily, you know, like especially for summer times in holidays. Like my friends will always be vacationing.
Oh,
and
that's
then
true. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, our
I
family
know.
don't have money for vacation.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part. Just like it being so small and then just not having much to explore. And it's always like the same hangout spots. And then also, I guess another downside of it being a small place is that everybody knows like people's stories. Like,
That's
everybody
so
knows everybody,
true.
kind of, you know? There was
And
somehow,
everybody's in your business.
yeah. You know, oh, that guy broke up with her last week, you know, like everybody knows that.
Oh man.
No, it's horrible. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Did you two always know that you wanted to leave Macau, or how did it come about?
I feel like I kind of had like a feeling that I wouldn't stay in Macau, but I never really made a determination like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave this place.
Okay.
But just like a gut feeling like, oh, this is just temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah, feeling like I'm gonna move somewhere, or if I do have the chance, I'll take it. I'll take it to move, kind of thing.
Well,
That's how
yeah.
it was for me. Yeah. How about
That's
you?
nice. I mean, like I was like brought up to have small dreams. You know, like I was brought up to like be thankful for whatever it is, like, you know, is in
It's a
front
very
of you.
Filipino mentality, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Like, you know, I was always like, it was hard for me to find a job in Macau, like as a Filipino, because I'm also not a resident in Macau, because in Macau you don't get born like a resident.
Yeah,
Your parents have to be, and my parents never were. So like when I graduated, I had to find a job in order to keep being with my family, you know, to get a student visa. And so like, and for me to have a student visa, like to like graduate, after graduating I have to find a job, so to get a working visa. And being Filipino, like it was so hard to find a job that I liked doing, and it was even hard already to find a job that you want, even though you were a resident.
Right.
It's
Because
like mostly like hotel or hospitality or casino kind of
yeah,
jobs.
yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, it's jobs that look at me, I'm not right for it. I'm not right for it. but like, and then my mom keeps like, you know, just berating me of how like, oh, be so thankful you're not living in Philippines, you know, like, and stuff like that. But while I was living in Philippines waiting for my blue card, like the working visa, like I had to go to Philippines, like where I never lived before.
Right.
So it's like I was there
Yeah.
waiting for my visa, and I'm like, it's not that bad here. I was like, well, I mean, because my mom was just so like emphasizing on like how much she sacrificed. So.
Right.
So that made me like, okay, yeah, I gotta live in Macau, like, but then, you know, I slowly I met someone, and then it just like, we fell in love, and I like got tired of Macau, of like where I was working, because I was an admin for housekeeping, and I have no knowledge of housekeeping, but then like, you know, they put me there because it's like, all right, you can speak Cantonese, which is good, so you can be on the computers, but you're Filipino still. So like, but I went to HR and asked like, can I have a transfer, like maybe like to entertainment, or I don't know, something. So like, you're Filipino, you should be thankful that you even have a job that's not clean.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, you know, this was like a conversation in Cantonese, and I was like, we're literally speaking Cantonese. And I'm like, I have no, okay. And I'm just like crying and I'm like, so this is Macau. Like, it's like, I can pour my heart into it. And it's not their fault, like they didn't have quota. They have to have quota, like, higher. So it's like, that's the whole thing. And then my now husband, like my boyfriend then was like, tough it out for a few, like, for a little longer, because he is a teacher. So he was like, after I finish my contract, like let's move somewhere. Like we can move somewhere that is like both of us can stay. And like, but then he was like, how about America? Like, how about together? Like I can see my life with you. And it just like it was a happy ending for me, for sure. Yeah, because so happy. But I mean,
I think,
like it's
I think
just,
that's like probably like a worst part of, going back to that question, like the worst part of living in Macau is the mentality is still like old, where, like there's this kind of discrimination or like, like certain kind of mentality. And even now, sometimes like speaking to like friends back there, like working there as a foreigner, like sometimes there's just different treatment to locals versus foreigners.
Right.
So, yeah,
that's true. Even our parents all the time, like, watch what you say. We're still living here.
Like, doing this podcast sometimes, like parents would be like, "Oh, don't say that. Like, we still live here. Be careful. We gotta be grateful. Like, don't say too many things."
We got freedom of speech, but our parents are there.
They're still living there. Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So this leads. So let's see, Paji, you had a YouTube channel in high school, yeah?
We gotta talk about that.
Okay. So what was the content? What was the content in what is this, 2018 or whatever?
Oh my god!
If you before she says anything, if you do get a chance, you gotta look for the content and scroll all the way back and watch all of them.
Go all the way back. Okay. Done. Definitely
so
gonna do
bad. It's so bad. It was like Microsoft Movie Maker days,
right?
Yeah. No, it's like that's how bored you'd get in Macau. So it was just vlogs of me ranting sometimes, or sometimes just goofing around. Sometimes very random stuff. Then I slowly stopped in after graduating, because I was just working like a dog. So, but then I came to America, and then it's like, I have free time again. Because you work humanely here.
So what were you thinking? You were thinking of just doing a podcast about your life, or about just living as a mixed race kid, or what was your thought when you got to America? What was your thought for the podcast?
Well, I mean, I was still waiting on my working visa and green card and all that. So while and it was during COVID too.
Okay.
So we had to be at home, and I was going crazy bored,
Yeah.
And so I started just making random videos again, and it was always so boring. And by then too, YouTube changed so much, and everything is just so monetized and everything, and so I didn't get a lot of traction, and Iasmin and I met up in New Jersey, because my husband now is from New Jersey and his family's there, and so that's why we were there. That's how we met up. And then so when she mentioned to me that she watches my vlog, my podcast, I was like, what? There's literally just 20 views, so you're one of them?
No, it was because at that point I was like, I haven't seen her in a while. What's she up to? Check her out.
It's so funny, because I was for sure no one's watching this. No one's watching this. So it's it's just so
it's whatever.
Random. Yes, and
it was called alien something.
alienated vlog show. So weird. Yeah, because I felt alienated.
I mean, we're literally called alien, right? When you apply
Right.
for the green
Yeah.
card.
Why? Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I keep calling myself alien, because it's like all the forms it says alien, alien. I'm an alien. Yeah. And then so like when she said like, I would totally want to be a guest in your podcast. I was like, hey, what?
Guest.
Go host. And then she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, for sure. I mean, I am literally, and yeah. So by then I was working from home too. So I am like in need, like I want human connection. So,
Right,
you know,
right. Yeah.
it was like giving me a reason to talk to her too. Like not just like, what's up? How's your day? It's like, oh, we're actually building this together.
I think
Yeah.
it also like just when we first met in New Jersey, having Portuguese tart together, and then like being able to speak to someone in Cantonese, I think that was also like a feeling of like, oh, a little bit of home.
Yeah.
And then we kind of wanted to continue that, right? I think before the podcast, I definitely felt very like distant from home. But when we kind of reconnected, it was like, oh, I remember this feeling. I remember.
Yeah. I totally get that.
So true.
Yeah.
And when we started, like, yeah, it's just like us catching up. People were asking, "What is our niche? What is our niche?" I'm like, I don't know what our niche is. And we were like thinking, no one speaks Cantonese, you know, like people speak Chinese or Mandarin. So
Yeah.
we
We were
never
just-
like
yeah. It was just
spoke
like
that
a
much.
oh, let's do like a catch up and like a culture shock kind of thing, like being from moving from Asia to America, like that was kind of the first initial vision.
Yeah,
But the Canto would creep in. I you know, even on the first episode, you just couldn't help yourself. You would start to jump
that's
in.
our language for sure.
Yeah.
Like like we said, like at home we speak broken English. So
Yeah. Yeah.
for us,
It's,
it's
yeah.
Do you
It's true.
remember the first video that really popped off and that, you know, like really overnight you saw like thousands and thousands of downloads?
Oh, are you talking about like Reels? Because Reels is where we really popped off. Like
yeah.
that's how we really grew.
That's how I found you, I think. I think a lot
Oh,
of
yeah?
people found yeah.
Instagram for
Do you
sure.
remember,
I mean,
was there one topic that
there
really
was
just...
there was a few. I wrote down a few. Remember? So there was one that I think the first one we were interviewing a friend, and I taught her how to say "ho fan lei," like you're so annoying. And then she's Japanese Asian American, right? So she was saying it in a really white accent, like "oh fan lei," like, and people were roasting her.
Right.
So
then-
mean.
That one grew. That's one of the videos. And then another one was Paji's idea of dragon shrimp, like the broken Canto translation.
I
Yeah.
was just imagining someone like speaking Cantonese, like I was just imagining one of our classmates, like in Macau, you know, like the one that's very bad English, like, and they would say stuff like that. They would just
Yeah.
straight translate a dragon shrimp, like, and I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think another one that also like boosted the growth was the song that I made. Like, or no, I didn't make the song, but it was a song that I remembered from a kid, and it was something like one more, two more, sifa tago polo. And I forgot the rest of the lyrics, but it was some dumb Cantonese songs.
And it blew up?
like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess, and then it's just like, yeah, from there, it was just like, it's just, you know.
Just
Yeah.
slowly growing, like nonstop, slowly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Who would have guessed, right?
Who would have guessed? Yeah, like every day, you know, when we like started to have high view stuff, we started like getting self-conscious on like, you know, what are we posting? Like, oh, do they like this? Do they like that? Sometimes we get so random too that it's like, all right,
Yeah.
they didn't really get that.
Some of the viral videos, I wasn't even, like, we weren't even gonna post it. We were like, this is okay, like, this is good enough.
For real.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, you never know.
Yeah, sometimes you
Never
never know. Julia, do you remember the first time you saw the Outcasts?
You know, I'm trying to think of like the first time, but I definitely have some favorites. Like I love the ones where Paji talk about like flirting in Cantonese
Yeah.
or like those are so hilarious. And like people quote them. Like you know, sometimes in Chinatown, especially because like you two are very, very popular, like in SF Chinatown, like people like show each
Yeah.
other these videos. Like
Yeah.
their break
Whoa.
times or like,
Yeah.
oh, like look at this, like this is new, like Kanto Riz. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's, I think those like are very like standout ones for me. Um,
Noted.
yeah, people love that type of stuff, right? Um,
No, you guys are huge out here. You don't realize how big you are in San Francisco because the majority of folks that I know, maybe the younger kids are more Mandarin, but the people. So I'm 53, and then everyone down to like my wife and her generation is a little younger than me, and kids in their 20s. They speak Canto out here. So people
We're in
share
the wrong
reels.
side, Yasmin.
You gotta come over.
We
Yeah,
definitely
you
get
gotta
a
come
lot
through.
of requests to go to San Fran, so we're
Come
gonna plan that
through.
trip, right?
okay,
One
that's
day.
good.
Yeah. Now we'll show you around too. We'll help you out.
Wait, so you're
Julia's,
both in San Fran?
Yes, we're
yeah,
both in
yeah.
San Francisco.
See.
And Julia's really well connected, so she'll get you a venue. She'll get you. She'll hook it up. She'll hook it up.
Oh, yes.
Wow, 多謝你，多謝你。
We would really love that.
But yeah, isn't that weird how something that you just do, that's just who you are, all of a sudden is like your secret power or your, like just something that you had this whole time and it's just there. And then now all of a sudden people are asking you to teach them Cantonese and asking you to do collaborations and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a little imposter syndrome all the time for us
Sure,
though. Like
yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
this is not happening for sure. Yeah. or maybe it's just the Asian mentality of like you got to be humble, like or
Yeah.
the minute you're proud, you're like, what? Who do you think you are? But yeah, we definitely like deserve a pat on the back, and it's so great to like connect with so many people that's in the same, almost like the same position as us, like where you're not completely Cantonese, right? You're not like
Yeah.
fully speaking Cantonese, like in terms of like you're in the culture, but in between where you can like do a bilingual language and like just have that vibe, and
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah, I think you've definitely found an audience, like there's people that can relate.
Yeah, I think actually like a lot of ABCs and other like Cantonese diaspora can relate to your content, especially like here in the US. Like we're never American enough to be white, and when we go to Asia, it's like very obvious. Like when I go
Yeah,
to Hong
yeah.
Kong, like people immediately like stop me in the street and they're like, "Nei hai ABC," and I'm like,
You're right.
"How do
You haven't even opened your mouth, yeah.
And it's just like, so I think like your content about like being an outcast and like, having different cultures and things like that, going home to a different culture, having one at school, like maybe the storyline isn't exactly the same, but the content is very relatable to a lot of people here.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
I think that's kind of like what our motto was in the beginning. Like, we're trying to make Outcasts feel home, even though that sounds,
Yeah.
like, so because we didn't really feel like, in Macau, we felt like foreigners. In America, we felt like foreigners.
Right.
Or like
Everywhere.
outsiders. Yeah. So we're going to make a space for outsiders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's true.
Lean into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only after after coming to America that I realized there's so many people like us. Because especially in America, there's so many like different culture people here.
Yeah.
Like
Third,
that was
fourth,
brought
fifth
up.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. So, hey, can we talk a little Cantonese?
Hey,
冇問題，
冇
應該
問題。
都可以。
All right. So one of my favorite ones was it's just a video called Sarcastic Phrases, or a podcast called Sarcastic Phrases. Do you have a favorite kind of sarcastic phrase that you like to use?
阿媽都唔認得. Like I just like throw that around all the time, like saying 阿媽都唔認得, like 熱到阿媽都唔認得.
Like your mom doesn't even know, or what was?
I used to think it was I don't even recognize my mom, but it actually means your
And then I was like,
mom
wait,
doesn't
this is like
recognize
me.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
To be honest, I don't even know which one is the correct answer.
it's so crazy that your mom doesn't even recognize you like that.
It
Like
basically means something is just whack. This just doesn't work.
yes, super
Okay.
super.
All right. My favorite. No, I'm not gonna say it right, but that's just my favorite.
Me too.
It just you can use that for so many different situations, right?
That's true.
搞錯你。What are some other?
冇鬼用。
Oh yeah.
Hey.
You're no good or
No use,
no
useless.
use. That's a favorite.
咁都得？
It's
咁都得？
okay.
Like that also can? Like it's like, huh? It means like, huh? 咁都得？
I like they mong ta ta, like you're fuzzy.
Mong. There's so many expressions in Cantonese. I feel like,
It's like, are you blind, right? Like, 發雞盲啊？發雞盲。It's so wild, like 發雞盲啊？
盲咗啊? Like, are you blind or are you?
發雞 like chicken chicken blindness. It's called.
Yeah, chicken.
Oh man. You know what? I enjoyed one, and it's a little spicy, maybe a little too spicy for our podcast here, but it's the Cantonese dirty talk, which I think you figured out doesn't really exist.
Oh my god, no.
Like
It's yep. We were talking with
Sketchy car.
sketchy car.
I was
Yeah.
blanking on the name. But yeah, sketchy car.
She's so
awesome.
funny. Oh
she's
my
our
God.
大家姐, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, she was what she said like, oh, it's so funny. Oh my god.
Because you can't imagine it even so cringe, right? Yeah.
No. See, like I mean, it's not like I haven't tried dating like guys locally in Macau. It's just they just don't prefer, you know, girls like me, like you know, like tan or like so outspoken because I am like pretty outspoken. Like, but yeah, so I never really got the chance to, but I can't imagine.
Did people jump in the comments? Did people comment like, "Oh, it exists," and you know, did they throw you any examples, or no one had anything?
No, there wasn't. They were just all laughing because it's true. You know, they don't speak much.
I would imagine. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was after America's like, oh, so vocal.
All right, and then see, Julia, you have your last one here. Your favorite episode.
Oh, okay. So my other favorite episode was about eavesdropping in Cantonese. Like when you're around and people don't know that you speak Canto. So this is funny. Like, I'm in nursing, right? And my last name is spelled Quan, Quon. So people don't always know. Like they're like, "Are you Vietnamese? You Canto?" Like, you know. And so I remember I was doing something. And you know, they were like talking about me and they're like, oh, like, you know, I wonder if she's married, right? And they're like, no, like she doesn't look like she's married, like come on, like, you know, she doesn't look like she would be married, right? And I like turned around and I was like, why? Like, do you think you can to someone? And they were like shocked. But it reminded me of your airport eavesdropping episode of like, when you're somewhere, like, do you want to eavesdrop or do you want to keep it to yourself?
Oh my gosh. See, I will just eavesdrop because
They don't expect
it's just,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't expect it unless it's like something, you know, about me maybe or because in Macau, like if I did
even in Macau it happens. Like even though we grew up there, you know, they would talk about us like, "哇，呢兩個嘢好嘈啊."
I would just be on my phone like, "喂，hi, Messi." Like I don't like interact with it, but it's just like kind of like
Passively.
By the way, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I would definitely like just eavesdrop. Unless actually no, there's this one time that the like old guy beside me was just speaking Cantonese and he was lost on his like you know, on because we were on an airplane. Sorry, airplane.
Okay, yeah.
Sat it beside me and he was on the monitor. He didn't know like where to press. Like he was like on English. Yeah, so and I heard him speaking Cantonese to other people. So I was like, "Alido." Like that. And they was like,
That happened to me once. Like Yeah, that happened to me once when we were in the subway, like in New York City, and it gets really busy, right? Like, and you see, like, I was just in a circle with a group of friends deciding what to do. And then this random uncle with like a backpack with like a piece of paper in Chinese characters trying to find where to go. And I was like, oh my God, like, and he didn't even like look at me, or he just went straight up to us and then started speaking Cantonese. But none of my friends, because all my friends look Asian, so
Right.
like East Asian, so maybe that's why he went up to them. But like I'm the one, I spoke Cantonese, so I was like, oh yeah, my harito, hai kopi, hai kopi.
Yeah.
And then it was so random that it was Cantonese as well.
Yeah.
And then my friends were like, sometimes I forget that you can speak Cantonese, you know? But yeah, it definitely
so
happens
funny.
a lot. And it's like, I feel like here, whenever I hear Cantonese, it's always heartwarming.
Yeah, I think so too. And then now you're actually doing classes. You're actually doing a master class in Cantonese. First one sold out, yeah? Your first couple ones sold out?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did a lot better than we thought, because we were like, oh, you know, maybe we'll get like 5 to 10 people. Like, that's fine too, you know? Yeah, at least they're happy with it. But
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
happy.
So what sorts of things are you doing basic convo, or is there like a medium, intermediate level as well?
I mean, the first one, it was like beginner. So we went through like the basics, and then there was like, I guess like we talked about different quantifiers, because like just different things that to help people understand the basics of Cantonese. And there's like a little conversational, and then we are now working on the intermediate one.
Oh yeah. So yeah, everything on our first course is beginner, like for people that literally don't know English, Cantonese. So it would be that to intermediate, and then for the intermediate is still ongoing. Yes.
All right.
And it will be more conversational for the intermediate.
Yeah, because people are requesting like more conversational, or because they want to understand, you know, TVB shows. Yeah.
And we're here for that.
All right. So when is that? You gonna have a round 2 coming up soon?
Coming up soon, probably the end of this year.
Okay. All right.
Earlier.
Nice.
Check the website out.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. What else you got cooking? What's next for the Outcasts?
What's cooking?
We are going to be in New York City. May. I don't know when this episode is going to come out, but we're going to be there May 31st till June 3rd.
So
Okay.
we're probably hosting our very first in-person meetup.
Fan
We'll
meet?
see how- yeah.
Yay!
First ever! So we still don't know where or when.
I should get on that.
But we're gonna let people know.
Oh man, that'll be fun. That'd be super fun. And then we're gonna just go ahead and manifest San Francisco coming soon.
Please, yeah, love that.
All right. All right. Not official yet, but I'm throwing it out there sometime in the future. All right, you guys have survived our difficult question. It is now time for our lightning round. You guys ready?
Oh, lightning round. Okay.
So just whatever comes to mind. All right, Julie, you gonna do the first one?
So, what's your favorite thing to say in Cantonese?
Thing like a
For me, it's ho fanale. I say that all the time. Ho fanale.
Love it.
Nice.
I say that to myself like 3 times a day.
Now, that's not super rude, right? Like, it depends on the tone.
I mean, I don't think so. Like, that's one thing too. Like, it's like people's lines can be different. Like they're like, oh, like I'm chola.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like everybody around me said that.
Yeah. Or someone calls you a feijai or something. You know, it's like, you know what? It's just a name. It's just a nickname, right? Is it?
Okay. What's something from Macau you miss the most?
Like one thing, one specific thing. Oh, Portuguese egg tart. The Lord Stowe's one. I'm just like, it's so beautiful. If it's just that one thing. If there's like a whole thing, food.
Yeah.
I miss street food, or just the accessibility of street food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy
It's like
access.
quick food, yeah. Here, like, you want food, you have to, like,
Go to
do a whole
dinner.
thing, and then you got a tip. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, that leads us to a round of this or that. So I'm going to name two things. You get to pick one of them. The other one you don't get to eat.
Oh
Ever.
no.
I know. All right. Well, you already answered this one. Dantat or po dantat?
Potat.
Potap.
Potat,
Yeah.
potat. Okay, next one is lumpia or spring roll, Chungrun?
Lumpia.
Yeah.
Because it's home cooked, right? It's got to be.
Shanghai lumpia.
Yeah. All right. Next one. I don't know how good this one is, but I know the first one I like. All right. Pork chop bun or crab joke?
Oh, I think I'll go for a pork chop bun.
Pork chop bun.
Only because I haven't had crab joke that much. Like I've heard of it, or I like saw it on the menu.
Yeah.
I've never, because seafood is expensive. But if I can switch out the jupa for gaipa, I would love it.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Do the chicken, yeah. Now, do they
Yes.
still have the place near University of Macau? Do they still have the pork chop place right outside the campus?
Odai.
You went to Odai.
I did, but I did go to the old campus.
Oh,
and
did you
new
mean the
campus.
old street, the old Taipa street?
Yeah, the old typo one. They used to have this pork chop place right outside the campus.
Yeah. There's still I'm there. I think there's still a lot, there's more, and there's a few more like
Okay.
new ones
Yes.
opening up as well.
Yeah, okay. I gotta get back.
Yeah.
All right, last one is, would you rather do the lanterns at Pai Fong or barbecue at Hak Sa Beach?
Oh, barbecue at Haksa Beach. That's so good. I go there daily. Like when I had my car.
Because she would have a car and she would like pick me up sometimes, and
Yeah, baby.
Oh,
I would get like a carton of rice in Sunmeal. Like this is like $1, and then they go to the barbecue and just like
Get the little sticks, yeah.
Oh, so good. 多蜜糖,多蒜蓉. Like
Yeah.
I'm like more garlic, more honey, please.
Yeah, so good. All right, and let's see. Julia, you want to do the last one?
All right. Who's your favorite Canto creator right now?
Favorite Canto creator is are you gonna say it? Oh my god, yes, Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin. Oh, Kevin.
and you just had him on, right?
I don't know how he comes up with his stuff too. Like it's like he's so creative.
So
like
wacky,
that
yeah.
mind, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
I love it. And he's not even like completely fluent with the language. So it's like it makes it even more like
And we were like, how do you know all these things? Like some of them even we don't know. He's like, oh, I just watched my YouTube, and
I just do some research. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and it was genuinely really fun. Just like talking to him on the episode, it was genuinely
It was,
Yeah.
I think he's generally himself too. Like,
yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, that leads us to our signature question, which is, who is your infatuasian? An infatuasian is anyone in the Asian community that you admire. It could be someone you know or someone you admire from afar. It could be living or deceased even. So who is your infatuasian?
Is it cheesy if I say my mom?
No, that's
I was
totally...
gonna say my
Valid.
Yeah, because like she literally had broken English moving to another country, and she's literally my inspiration right now.
Yeah.
Like being in another country, and like she sacrificed so much, and I had a good life. So
Yeah. Awesome. No, there's nothing wrong with picking moms, especially in May, right? Especially in May.
Oh, happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Mẫu thân
Mother's
chị
Day.
phai lò. Yeah, for me, it's my dad. I think he's the first person I think of. I think he's been working a lot for us, even now, still working to support and provide. And I wish I, make enough so that he doesn't have to work and just
I
kind
know.
of get some off his shoulders. But he's not like, those like typical American parents who like easily express what they're feeling or express their love to their kids.
yeah.
Sure.
He's
Yeah.
definitely not the best at that. He will cook you good food, but never say sorry.
Yeah.
yes.
But Yeah.
Relatable.
Awesome.
Now that you like learn, like all these trauma and stuff like that, you like learn that they probably have so much more, and I like start to like cry from that because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's why you can't show me love. Like
It starts to make sense. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on with us today, and thank you for making us laugh. Like it's fun. Cantonese is so fun just to chon and just kind of just you speak it loud and. All right.
No, yeah, we wanted to thank you for inviting us into Infatuation podcast, and
Our pleasure.
we're always honored to be invited.
Well, hey,
we followed you guys like from the beginning. Like you guys followed like us like in the very beginning.
Yeah.
So it's always
Thank
been
you.
great.
Thank you. All right. So if you want to find out more, you can follow the Outcasts at Outcast from the 853 on social media or over at outcast853.com. And Julia, thanks for coming on again with me.
Yeah, it was great. This is the first time I've ever co-hosted a podcast before. I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on it. Yeah, I got to involve you more. The only problem was, we didn't talk too much beforehand, but you did great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Good
And then
job.
I'll see you-
Keep it up with the save Cantonese. We gotta save Cantonese.
We gotta try. And so you can follow Julia at Jules Last Forever or over at SaveCantonese_CCSF. I'll put all these in the show notes so that you can know how to spell all these user handles and stuff like that. And as I always mention, you can write to us at infatuationpodcast@gmail.com, and you can always follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Infatuation Podcast. We'll put all these details. You know where to find that. So on behalf of Paji, Iasmin, Julia, and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. Until we talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
多謝晒，多謝晒，多謝晒你嘅支持。
Infatuation.
Thank you for your support.